Hey there, today I'm going to be talking about something that I think we as a community and I personally had been looking forward to, and that is the updated card pack. My name is Nate, and welcome to the Gamers Guild. So this video is going to contain a few different things. It'll be one part content review, one part speculation, and one part of expectations that were not met, for me at least. But before we dig into that, I do want to give my usual shout-outs to the guild sponsors, Tritex Games based in the EU and War Room Hobbies based here in Tennessee. Both are great local gaming stores that have game nights at their stores and are supporting their local communities. So if you're shopping online anyways, please consider using them as an option to support an LGS that's hosting game nights and all that kind of stuff instead of just a big warehouse company. And to help beat those prices, I have some codes that will save you even more off of Tritex's and War Room's already discounted prices. If you use the code TritexGGCP5 at checkout at Tritex Games, you will save an extra 5% off of all of their MCP selection. And if you are checking out at War Room Hobbies, you can use the code MCP2022 for an extra 10% off of your order, whether it is for MCP, Legion, or whatever else you are into, and they have in stock. And even though we are in a weird window with nothing currently announced, it may not be a bad time to either finish painting what you have or go and pick up the Rivals box with those sweet alternative models, but we do at least have a few things on the horizon at this point. I will say though, if you're already shopping from your LGS, that's awesome, keep supporting them. We understand and support that decision. But if you're wanting to still find a way to support the Guild's videos or podcasts, check out our Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month or $12 over the course of a year, you help us continue to put out MCP content as a podcast and here on YouTube. We also do have a monthly giveaway though, thanks to Tritex. All you need to do to enter is be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment on a video the same month that that video was released. And as it stands, with this being the first week of May, I'll be drawing April's winner at the end of this video. So let's dive into this new card pack and what we are getting. First thing, since this is the card pack 2022, it seems like it will stand to reason that this is not going to be the last one of these card packs, and that there are plans to probably do some more, maybe yearly, maybe every other year, time will tell. And really it's not a bad idea. I know the now sister game, Star Wars Legion, has benefited greatly from their card packs, getting highly valued card in multiples that may not have come with any models that you wanted to get in the first place. So this idea being applied to Marvel with maybe either some crisis cards or even just some highly played tactic cards like Field Dressing and Med Pack that come with models that not everybody wants or needs would be fantastic. However, that isn't exactly what we are getting here. We are getting the 24 character cards from the November 1.5 update that we are all expecting, along with a whopping 74 Team Tactic cards, which is a number that at first blew my mind, but once you actually see the list and start looking through them, there are some questions that arise. 55 of those 74 cards are either affiliation specific or character specific cards. So if you wanted to play Venom anyways, for example, you would already get your copy of Lethal Protector. There's not really any other use for Lethal Protector unless you have the Venom model. The affiliation cards I can see a little bit more of an argument for, like having Lovable Misfits that comes with Angela and Enchantress to have for your Guardians of the Galaxy if you didn't want to pick up that expansion because you aren't an Angela fan, or even more criminally, not an Enchantress fan. So what about the other 19 generic Team Tactic cards? Well, 12 of them are tactic cards from the core box, which, as I have said many times and will continue to promote, is just an insane value, so you probably already have that, and if you don't, you probably should. And then so that leaves 7 expansion-specific generic cards that you get access to. And those are Advanced R&D, which, by the way, is the most printed card because it's in 2 packs, as well as been reprinted multiple times as promos for OP kits and stuff like that. Then there's also Face Me, Heavy Firepower, March for Death, Recalibration Matrix, also one that has seen several printings, psychic shielding device, and no matter the cost. Some of these are fantastic tactic cards, just in general, and if you don't already have most of them in your collection, it will make for a really solid addition, especially no matter the cost. And Face Me are some of my personal favorites. Marked for Death is great into the Web Warriors, but those 3 cards being, I don't know. Anyways, the last thing in this box are all 6 of the Infinity Gems with some of their own adjustments that have happened during that 1.5 update, like to the Space and Time Gems. And this is an addition I am fully on board with, especially since many of the gem bearers only came originally with one of the 2 gems that they could take, like Loki, Doctor Strange, Corvus, and so on. That is everything we know about this $20 box. So let's talk about what's inside it and why it has the cards that it does. First, also keep in mind that there are no character or affiliation specific cards from the X-Men's launch forward, except for the A-Force and Inhumans, who were technically supposed to launch prior to the X-Men, but AMG wanted to have X-Men jump in the line a little bit because of the 1-year anniversary and all that kind of stuff. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind while I'm talking about all this. At this point, we can only really speculate what we have 67 tactic cards that are either from a base set or are character or affiliation specific. My guess is we are either going to be seeing a card rotation, which honestly doesn't really line up with how AMG have done anything so far, and it would be a very volatile choice for the community. Or, and the thing that I think is a little bit more likely, we are going to have some of our first timeline events coming from AMG. There isn't too much known about them, but for this short description from their Crisis Event packet they have on their website, it gives us an idea of what we're in for. In a timeline event, rosters may use only characters, team tactic cards, and crisis cards from the list of current timeline packs, which can be found at atomicmassgames.com/rules. In an unlimited event, rosters then may use characters, team tactic cards, and crisis cards from any pack. So basically there will be a list of cards and characters that can be used for these timeline events, and maybe they just use set symbols to help define the cards that are legal, since all of these new cards coming in this box will have a new set symbol. But right now, these are just 2 options that make sense as to why AMG would choose these cards to reprint, because otherwise these reprints really just have no rhyme or reason for me. So now that we have talked about the what and the possible why behind the what, I want to talk about why I am not going to recommend this pack to people playing unless they specifically want some errated versions of the tactic cards and gems. First of all, the character cards getting printed is great, but these are the same character cards we have been given and encouraged to print for the last 6 months. And the community has found very clean and effective ways to print them out very nicely, so you don't need to buy this pack for those. If they had put the remaining MCP character cards into this new format so that we could have a universal new style instead of having some of each, I would totally be down for that and encourage you to buy this. But since that isn't what we are getting, meh. As for the tactic cards, well, if you get the core set, there are really only going to be 10 or so tactic cards that would be beneficial from this box, as the rest of them would just come with the characters or leaders of affiliations that you're wanting to play with anyways. You will get new clean versions of the cards that have been changed or errated, like Gamma Launch, Last Minute Save for Lockjaw, Advanced R&D, etc., but the changes on those cards are very small compared to the changes that were made to something like the character cards. So that could be a perk of getting this pack, and the same with the Infinity Gems, but that's where the reasons to buy this pack ends in my opinion. Aesthetics, bling, kind of maybe ease of life. The timeline events will have the legal cards listed online, so you won't be required to have the specific set symbol for the cards to participate in the event. If the reasons for these cards being printed are what I have guessed, then I feel like this was just a wasted opportunity to put just cards that needed a reprinting because of the erratas that have been made to happen, and more cards from the restricted list printed, like Bitter Rivals and Med Pack, not to mention other popular cards like Blind Obsession, instead of cards that you will either get when you pick up the character they are meant for, or just from the core set anyways. And if there is a better reason for the choices AMG have made with this pack, I really wish that this pack reveal and its contents would have come with a lot more communication from Atomic Mass Games, either in the form of one of their weekly streams, a transmission article, or even just waiting to reveal what's coming in this pack at the upcoming mini extravaganza. Because right now, I think this pack looks a bit foolish without any additional context around it. I would love for, come mini extravaganza, Sarah and the Wills to come out and explain the choices and blow my skepticism out of the water, but that's still over a month away itself. So time will tell, and if nothing changes again, this isn't really a pack that I think is needed by anyone unless you are hunting for a few of those 7 generic Team Tactic cards. But enough with me being a Debbie Downer, let's do a giveaway.
All right, and here we go for April. Adam H. I've been looking at the game for a while. This level of deck gives me memories of my Death Guard. I'm guessing this is probably in reference to the wonderful rapid fire list that I've been tinkering with recently. Congratulations, Adam. I will be commenting on your comment. You can also reach out to me at some of the links that I have down in the description of the video. Thank you again so much for watching.
Awesome, and congratulations again to the winner. I will be in contact soon to help you get hooked up with that non-Ultimate Encounter MCP expansion from Tritex. As always, if you have enjoyed my thoughts and are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button for a weekly dose of MCP content in the form of reviews, battle reports, and you can also find the Gamers Guild podcast on several different podcast apps and more. Also, real quick, I haven't done this in a little bit, it feels like, but I want to give an extra shout out to all of the sponsors over at the Guild Hall on Patreon. Thank you guys for supporting me and what I'm doing here, the crew at the podcast and stuff like that. There are new things that are slowly become in the works, and I'm really excited to start talking about all of that, possibly closer to August. So thank you all for your support, and to everybody else watching, thank you for watching, and until next time, keep on gaming.